You on, Congresswoman. Senator Shelley Moore Capito says now the two sides are further apart than ever. Her office is saying that on the infrastructure deal that President Biden dropped to $1.7 trillion. Is he going to drop the price tag further?
Well, I think he's going to have to if he wants to truly have a bipartisan deal, because the Republicans in the House are around $400 billion and the senators are about $600 billion. So as the senator said, that we are far apart, but that's because the Republicans want us to focus specifically on what everyone considers true transportation and infrastructure projects. You know, roads, bridges, tunnels, airports, seaports, commerce, making sure that our waterways are safe, and also broadband expansion into rural areas. I think that, you know, that as long as the president keeps on trying to appease the radical left and tries to include things that have nothing to do with true infrastructure, we're going to have a problem. And you brought up a great point in that opening segment there. You know, the Keystone Pipeline was the most important infrastructure project we had going on in this country, and the president killed it. And so it really begs the question of when the president talks about this being a stimulus package and job creation, you know, where's the Keystone Pipeline?
Yeah. You know, Democrats are making this new pressure move, calling local state Republicans, waving lots of infrastructure money at them so they can pressure their Republican congressmen. So that's going on. Now we've got Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg joining Jennifer Granholm, who's the Energy Secretary, and the Climate Envoy John Kerry, saying that, yes, pipes are good and pipes are the way to go, Congresswoman. Let's listen to Pete Buttigieg here. Watch.
Secretary of Transportation, do you agree with Secretary of Energy when she says that pipelines are the best way to transport fuel?
Well, of course, it depends on the context. Nobody's proposing that we establish a pipeline that goes directly to every gas station or every community in the country. Let me
give you more context then. Do you think that the important comments by the Secretary of Energy as it relates to transporting fuel through a pipeline is important enough for us to revisit the XL pipeline project, or does that statement not include the XL pipeline from your
yeah, in my view, it does not support any change to the administration's view on the XL pipeline. It's certainly the case that over certain long distances in certain contexts, it makes sense to have pipelines. After all, one thing our department is very proud of is the work that we do through the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration to make sure that 2+ million miles of pipeline in the U.S. are safe.
So what's going on here? It seems like really serious mixed messaging. What do you think?
Sure. Well, you know, the fact is that pipelines are safer, they are more efficient. And if you look at this administration, there's been a lot of mixed messaging. You know, they say they want us to be more independent. They want to bring manufacturing jobs home. They want to stand tough against China and Russia. And yet what we've seen is policies time and again that put Russia first and China first and put America last. Just look at what you've mentioned earlier about the pipeline in Russia. You know, they give the green light. They lift the sanctions that were put in place by a bipartisan Congress late last year. And now they looks at that project may be finalized at the same time when they crushed our energy independence by killing the Keystone Pipeline. Look at the way they want to give away our intellectual property to China. You know, there's a lot going on here. The Paris Accords, look how they don't want to level the playing field with China and India. All these are examples of how they're putting other countries first, not America.